Hey guys, how are you? So basically, this is my first video that I'm going to post on two websites. Yay, so happy. First, I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel, Polyglot William, and then I'm going to post it on Youku. That it's a Chinese website that people use, to see videos because YouTube is not allowed in China. So basically, in this video, I want to express something. And it's not going to be in Chinese. I'm sorry, I don't publish videos since a long time ago. But I had to remove two teeth. I wasn't able to speak. And today that I was going to do a video, I thought like, well, maybe it's more important to talk about future than to talk in Chinese. Because I don't think that a language is just, an amount of grammar, sounds, words, vocabulary. No, I think that it's also about culture and how people interact in society. So I think that it's important also to talk about how can I say that, about the cultural aspect of the language and how language can change our perspectives. I always that I can, I talk to my students. Look, pay attention. When you look to another culture, you have to look at with the culture's perspective. Imagine if one day uh, a different culture comes to us and they don't use gloves. And they're going to say, why do you use clothes? Remove your clothes right now. And we have to remove our clothes. But our society built, and this is our society, this is society. Uh, that it's a shame to not use clothes, and we are not going to like it, so we are going to want to wear clothes at the same thing that they don't use clothes because it's about their society. So they are putting their society in us, but we don't want, so it hurts to us. So basically, when we see another culture, we have to see different perspectives and try to understand these different perspectives. Today, I finally finished a movie that I was watching. The name is Iron Fist, I think. It's a Chinese movie about the First World War context, Chinese First World context, and how China had problems after the First World War. I studied um, the First World War and the Second World War for a long time, and I think that's a good thing, to us to think and to try to make it different. But besides that, as you can think, China was in the battle with the Allies. What happened is that the Allies, France, England, and the other countries, they said they would let China have some areas that were part of Japan inside China. It didn't happen. The same thing happened to Turkey, Italy. Turkey, I'm not right, but Italy, Algeria that fought and they didn't have Algeria in the Second World War, but it's the same context. So what happened is that, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy Japanese and Japan, and I think it's a really interesting culture. It's a different culture. This is a really nice culture. Don't get me wrong. Please dialogue with me so we can learn more about it, you know, and maybe I can change my mind. But as I see Japanese culture, everything are like, oh my god, Japan is so humble. Japan is so respectful. And this is true, Japanese people are really respectful. But they have word, like they say something and they do it. I don't see it like that. I have a lot of examples. Pearl Harbor, 1943. China, a lot of years. A lot of years. So, what we can actually see, and this is my perspective, is that China suffered a lot to be called the sick Western Asians. So they had a lot of problems with that. So a lot of people tell me, like, Look, China is so patriotic. This is not good. This is so bad. Oh my God, what can do? And I understand these people. They are seeing what happened in Europe with nationalism. And this is true. This is what's a problem. But China is a different context. It's a different culture. They passed through many problems throughout the years, and they tried to develop in their own way. And I see China as the same as United States. They began to grow after the Second World War. The thing that happened in China is that it stayed way longer. They took a lot of time, really longer period of time to develop it. It's different, for example, from Russia, that they stopped development at the Soviet Union after they broke. China is a different perspective. So I can completely understand the Chinese nationalism, and I think it's necessary because of the context. And you see, for example, a lot of people see the kids in school like with the flag and everyone waving to the flag, and they say this is crazy. And but no, it's not true. Uh, China suffered for so long not being able to do this because they were not unified. They stayed so long not unified. So this is a different perspective that we must see in the Chinese people. And to understand that, because for example, before I saw Hong Kong and I was like, well, let them be, alone because, you know, they are culture, they have their own culture, etc. But now I'm like, oh God, because before it was a big fight between who would get China, England or Japan. And as you know, Hong Kong was part of England and it was stolen from China a long time ago. So not letting them unify with China would mean that they would never have their part of land, their people that was taken. And it's really weird when you think about that, because you think that such a culture as China passed through so many problems, and now all they want is get their lands back. But it's already a different culture because Hong Kong has a different culture than China, the mainland China. Different languages. Cantonese, it's different from Mandarin that I'm learning. And this is and I'm sure that if I learned Cantonese, maybe I would have a perspective, but I'm seeing as a Chinese perspective. And what I say, I cannot go to China and say, oh, you are like that, you are like that, but not understanding their perspective of world because this is really different. And for example, to a lot of people, patriotism is not good and should be stopped. But to them is the only hope they had, they have, because they suffered a lot. And when you see Mao Zedong, a lot of people don't like him, and a lot of Chinese people don't like him, and I understand why. But they don't understand why he was so important because he was the first one to unify China and make China an important country. And then you start to understand it. And I already saw a lot of different perspectives about that from Chinese people. But as I see, it's basically that was the first one to unify China and to make China not, be bullied by Japan or England a little bit, but still way better than before. So this is a different perspective, and this movie changed my point of view at all. I want you to learn Japanese one day. I really like Japanese culture, animes. I have many animes I like, but I have to tell you, someone would tell me China or Japan, I would say China, of course. And people say, but oh, Japan has such a better way of living. They live so better, etc. But look at the past of China. Look what they passed. Look what they did just with Soviet Union's help, and then by themselves. They did it by themselves. So it's a really interesting context, and I just wanted to bring you guys that, and I think it is important to understand that. If you are watching this on my Chinese channel, I'm going to put the link. YouTube channel. If you are watching on my YouTube channel, I'm going to put the Chinese channel. This is really good because in Chinese channel I basically speak Chinese, and in the English channel I basically speak different things in English. So I think that can be a good thing, to unify people from one to another. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, and I see you in the next video. 再见。